Hey everybody, welcome to Turner Truck and Tractor. My name's Les and I'm glad you're here today. On today's video, what I'm going to do with the 67 Chevrolet C10 is give it its annual bath in preparation for C10s in the Park 2023. I'm going to give it a quick bath, clean it up real quick, and then concentrate on giving it a coat of the sweet patina sauce. And what that does is give it a nice matte finish. So it looks really good for the show, and then that's all I do for the next year unless it gets dirty or something. But other than that, I don't wash it. I don't do anything for the next year. So here we are again, ready to go. So I'm going to take you along for this. It's not sponsored by Sweet Patina, but I do recommend it, and I've had good results with it. And this will be the third time that I've done that with this truck. Since this truck has an oxidized finish and it's got a really rusty hood, it really doesn't take a lot of care and deliberation on it. Wash it off, wipe it off, rinse it, and then I will blow it dry. And then that's about as clean as it's going to get, because you can't really take a chamois to it and wipe it off and try to get it totally spot free. So here we begin. And as you can see right there, it's almost half the truck's already done. I'm going to put you on pause for a second. I'm going to finish up the other half and I'll be right back with you. Alright, well that takes care of the washing. It's as clean as it's going to get. And now let's dry it off. Alright, we'll let that finish up and we'll get us a cold beverage, take a little break, and be right back. Calling Dr. Turner, calling Dr. Turner. Alright, it's time to glove up here. Because that stuff is a little bit sticky and tacky, and it's got petroleum distillates in there, so you probably don't want to absorb all of it in your skin right there. And then I have got a tan washcloth that I'm going to apply it to. If you used white, my fear is it would probably leave white lint in it, because this rusty finish is not glass smooth by any stretch of the measure. So I'm just going to wipe it on with this, and then if you have any that pulls up or gets too thick, you just wipe it down and you get the thickness and the shine that you like. So let's get started. Alright, I got my sweet patina and application cloth here, so let's get started here. And I just poured some out right there by accident, but that's not a problem. Just start spreading it around and you'll see what you like. It's hard to really go wrong on this stuff. Now I accidentally poured out more than I desired, but not a big deal. It spreads. And it's got a slight odor to it. It doesn't smell bad at all. It's got really an unusual smell to it. I don't even know how to describe it. But it's not bad. And I don't know if the camera picks it up, but you'll start seeing shiny spots and dull spots, especially on rust, because it's you know, organic and natural, so it is what it is. And especially on this truck. In a couple of places, it's a hodgepodge of colors. And in other places, different shades of rust. It's got the viscosity of a really light motor oil is the best way to describe it. It's a little bit thicker than water. And just put a light coat on there, work it in if you need to, especially if your finish is rough like this hood is. I would say don't wear your Sunday best clothes in case you brush up against it. You'll be wearing it. And if you get it on the glass, you will have to clean it off because it does have a oily finish to it. So it will leave streaks if you don't tend to it. All right, well, I'm going to get busy on this and I'll be back with you in just a moment. That just about finishes it up. One thing I would caution, I would treat this like you would if you're refinishing furniture or staining it. Dispose of your cloth accordingly, wrap it up in like a Ziploc bag or something, because if you just throw it away or wad it up in the trash, maybe it could combust since it is petroleum or based off of petroleum products. So you don't want to cause any trouble like that. So make sure you dispose of it the right way. But otherwise, it turned out really well. It's starting to get late in the evening, so I don't know how much actually shows up. The nice thing about this is after a day or two, it really mellows out and really looks good. And one reason why I go with the sweet patina sauce instead of clear coating, because I'll get a lot of comments saying, hey Les, go ahead and clear coat it. Well, do you paint directly over rust? So I treat clear coat the same way. If I clear coated right up over this, over time that clear coat would flake off and I think look worse than what it does already. If you had a vehicle that had oxidized paint or thin paint, but still, got some color to it, this stuff would really make it pop and really look nice. I wish I was able to get this truck a little bit sooner before it was so far along in the oxidation process, because there's literally no paint left on this hood or on the roof. It is all gone. So I wish it did have a hint of color to it. This would really look nice. But it is what it is right now. And so I'm not going to clear coat it. So one of these days, if you ever want to paint it, you don't have to strip off that clear coat. And I still got some good metal to work with instead of fooling with all that, to get it prepped for a nice paint job. So hopefully this was informative, but I do highly recommend the sweet patina. I use it once a year, every year. This is about the third year, like I said, and it's got about this much left. So thank you for watching Turner Truck and Tractor. Please like and subscribe and share. I do appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video. Hey, before you go, I wanted to show you the truck. It's a new day. The truck sat overnight, and I wanted to show you the finish of the sweet patina treatment on it. The truck looks wet in a lot of places, and depending on how the light reflects off of it. So I wanted to give you a good representation of it. Depending on where you're at, the rusty spots don't look shiny at all, and the paint does look shiny and glossy. But then right here, against that light right there, you can see a lot of shine in that rusty hood. And trust me, that hood is very rusty and it's sort of rough to the hand. Whereas right here, it's got a smooth finish to it and a little bit of paint, and you can see how glossy it is. Over the course of time, this finish will smooth out. In probably about 3 months or so, you won't even be able to tell that it was done by either sight or by touch. So I'm going to finish cleaning up the truck. I'm glad you were here for the video. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you so much. So I will see you next time. Take care.